Hi everyone, welcome back to my garden. All right, let's get to it. Today I'm going to be deconstructing and kind of exploring the differences between a topsy-turvy and a cubic frost succulent. Every year this happens. The topsy-turvy is a beautiful succulent that really doesn't offshoot that much. It just grows up a little bit and you get all that dead detritus leafing at the bottom, which needs to be cleaned, and they need to be reset in the planter. So in order to do this, I have to really deconstruct everything. And as you can see here, you can see how interesting the roots, they're hair-like fine roots that come out from these succulents, and they really they do well. I mean, for a succulent, I leave these unattended a long time. They do get some water. They get rainwater when it rains, and basically they're low maintenance. But if you are expecting these to multiply, it won't happen. It is very rare when you have babies growing for these, so from these, but so pretty much what you see is what you get with these. But if you can keep them alive, they are beautiful. They are just so beautiful, and especially in a shallow pot like this one with some type of feature. Yeah, they're just gorgeous. So here I'm showing you how elongated they are. And it's not because they're reaching for sun, it's just that in a year this is how much they grow. So here we go. The only way to take care of this is you cannot pull them out and just reset them, because then you have an issue with rot. So we are going to go ahead and just cut them and then reset them. And you need like an inch and a half to just stick in the ground again. And I will not be letting these callus, because the soil that I'm going to be using is not too wet, and I won't be watering them anytime soon. We don't have rain in the forecast. So basically I'm taking off some of the bottom petals and just making sure to cut them. And here I'm just kind of speeding through it and showing you what I'm doing. This is so satisfying to clean these off and take off all those dead leaves and just make your pot beautiful and fresh and new again. Now, at the end, I have put some information regarding this plant, this succulent, compared to the cubic frost. And here I'm showing you a little echeveria that kind of got planted in this pot, and as you can see, it does not have any roots, but it's surviving. And as I was saying, the cubic frost gets confused with the topsy-turvy because they're very similar, but they're very different if you know what you're looking for. And at the end, I did place some information in writing for you so that you could read through it and take a look. But basically, the topsy-turvy is more green. The cubic frost is a little like purplish gray. And also the topsy-turvy is a little bit longer. The petals are longer, more narrow. The cubic frost is a little bit stubbier, a little bit more concentric, more angled, and it looks more like a little rose. And again, it's kind of like a purplish gray color. So when you're doing this, I mean, just have an area where you can go ahead and clean your succulents off, and your fresh dirt ready to pour into your pot. I will not be throwing all this dirt away. I usually just amend it with some good garden soil. I don't use cactus soil. I used to, but really the key with your soil is just to have well-draining pots and not overwater your plants. So if you live in an area that you get a lot of rain, oh, look at this baby. You see those roots? That just came off of a leaf, and that's what's so wonderful about these plants. Look at that. They're just growing in here. And as I was saying, as far as dirt, go ahead and just use what you have unless you live in an area. Ooh, see, I can't focus because look at this beauty. Little crusted topsy-turvy. And here we have some little offshoots, which are very rare because, again, this plant does not, it usually propagates from a leaf. It's easier, but to actually have offshoots like this from root, I am astonished. And I have had this plant for like 2-3 years. So I'm very happy about that. But again, this is rare that you propagate. The easiest way is to just take some of those little leaves, keep them moist on top of some dirt, and until they throw off some little succulents for you. But then again, that takes a lot of patience. But as you can see, the root is very prolific. It really kind of compacts the dirt, and I am taking some of those chunks that have the root in them, but the rest of the soil I will be just using it. And again, like I was saying, you can use just regular soil, well-draining pot, and control your watering. But if you do live in an area that's moist or gets a lot of rain, please use cactus soil or soil that has a lot of perlite. You can add perlite to it and just make it where it drains very nicely and it doesn't hold too much moisture, because then your succulents will rot. So here I'm using this little pot to kind of raise my planter face. I'm going to give it a little cleaning here. I need to refresh these and kind of paint them up again and bring back the vibrance. But I love these. I sculpted them probably this one about 2.5-3 years ago. Well, since I have this plant. And it has been in this pot outside and it's doing great. This is polymer clay. So I'm very happy with that. I've made several of these and they just bring a special kind of whimsy to your garden. I'm so sad. Later on in the day, I broke my favorite brush that I used for planting and cleaning, but thank goodness I'm an artist, a painter, so I have plenty of those in my studio. So I will be commandeering another one for my garden. And here I'm using it, as you see, just to make a little hole where I stick my succulents. And like all succulents, and really you can apply this to any arrangement you make. Make sure you take stock of the size of cuttings or plants that you have and spread them out, bigger first, and then fill in with the smaller plants that you may have. And in this case, as you see, this is super simple and super fun because it's just really plopping them in there. Don't bury them in too deep, and they will find a way to survive. This is so awesome. I will not be putting any rock because I found that, last time I potted this plant, I didn't put any rock, and now I got a little bit of offshoot activity. So since it is very sensitive and does not propagate too well, I'm going to leave open dirt, or if I do put kind of a top dressing, I'll use a little pebble so that those offshoots have a chance to kind of push through. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it like this. And hopefully I can get more offshoots to grow. But see here, I'm putting those in. And I don't want to really lose them, so I'm kind of clumping them together so that way I know where they are and I pay special attention. As far as watering, again, I really don't water this one on a schedule. Like with all my succulents, I am mindful of where they are, of the season, and I really adjust the watering schedule depending on how dry the soil is. So, moisture meter, if you struggle with gauging how, you know, to water and when to water, that's very useful for succulents. As far as what I do, I just stick my finger in there, and if the soil is super dry, I give them a little bit of water. And I do use a garden sprayer, so that helps me out with controlling the flow of the water that goes to each plant. Oh, here you're looking at some of the ones I will be tackling later on in the week. These are overgrown, but they're still beautiful. And I will be tackling this beautiful red ruffled echeveria. And she just like is goosenecked. She grew so much, and I don't want it to get too hot before I tackle the cutting off her top. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that in another video. So make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss that. And these Kalanchoe Luciers, I have to tackle those. They're looking a bit off. So, all right. Well, thank you again so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Here's the finished pot. And this is just an awesome, awesome succulent to have. And it is long lasting because I've had it in my garden for a while. All right, everyone, I'm leaving you with some information. Thank you again so much, and take care of yourself and others. Talk to you later. Bye.